You hand over $100. The clerk counts out unfamiliar bills, slides them under the glass, and points to a receipt filled with tiny numbers. Everything looks official. But before you walk away, one question matters. How much local currency did you actually receive compared with the real exchange rate? Currency exchange losses rarely look like theft. There may be no fake bill, confrontation, or obvious extra charge. The loss is often hidden inside a bad rate, a confusing fee, an ATM screen, or a payment terminal designed to steer you toward the wrong choice. In this video, we will break down 8 common currency exchange tricks, show you exactly what to check before you pay, and give you a simple routine for exchange booths, ATMs, hotels, restaurants, and shops. And if you want calm, practical travel safety advice that helps you avoid expensive mistakes without traveling in fear, subscribe to SafeMiles. The goal is not to chase the perfect exchange rate every day. It is to stop avoidable losses without turning every purchase into a math problem. Let's start with one of the most convincing signs travelers see: zero commission. The first trick is the large sign that says zero commission, no fee, or best rate guaranteed. That sign may be technically true and still cost you money. An exchange business does not need a separate commission if it makes its profit through the exchange rate spread, the gap between the market reference rate and the rate offered to you. A booth can advertise zero commission while giving you much less local currency than another provider. Do not ask only, "What fee do you charge?" Ask, "Exactly how much local currency will I receive for this amount?" That final payout is what matters. Before entering the line, check a current reference rate on your phone. A cash service will not match it perfectly because it has operating costs and needs a margin. You are looking for a reasonable difference, not a fantasy rate. If the booth refuses to state the final amount before taking your cash, walk away. The second trick is displaying several numbers and relying on the traveler to read the wrong one. Currency boards often show a buy rate and a sell rate. The wording is from the exchange business's point of view, not yours, and the relevant number may not be the one that first catches your eye. Some boards use different font sizes, place the attractive rate at the top, or advertise a special rate that applies only to large transactions. Do not decode the board under pressure. Tell the clerk the exact amount you want to exchange and ask for the exact amount you will receive. Compare that payout with your phone's reference calculation. Also ask whether the displayed rate requires a minimum transaction. A rate advertised for exchanges above $1,000 may not apply when you exchange 100. The board is advertising, the final payout is the transaction. The third trick is not always deception. It is convenience priced as urgency. Airport counters know that arriving travelers may be tired, disconnected, uncertain about transportation, and worried that they need cash immediately. That makes the airport an easy place to accept a poor rate without comparing options. Sometimes you do need cash on arrival. The solution is to limit the amount. Exchange or withdraw only enough for immediate needs, perhaps transportation, a meal, or a small emergency reserve. Obtain the rest later after reaching your hotel and comparing calmly. Do not exchange your entire travel budget because the booth is the first one you see. The same rule applies at border crossings, cruise terminals, major train stations, and tourist districts. Convenience locations often charge for the captive audience. Urgency is expensive. A small first transaction keeps the cost small too. The fourth trick appears on card terminals and ATMs. You insert or tap your card abroad, and the screen asks whether you want to pay in the local currency or in US dollars, Canadian dollars, pounds, or your card's usual currency. The home currency option feels safer because you recognize the number, but this is dynamic currency conversion, and it lets the merchants or ATM operators' conversion service set the rate. That rate is often less favorable than the rate your card network or issuing bank would use. The general rule is, choose the local currency. In France, choose euros. In Mexico, choose pesos. In Japan, choose yen. Let your card issuer perform the conversion instead of accepting the terminal's offer. Read carefully because the wording may make rejection feel risky. You may see "accept conversion," "guaranteed rate," or "continue without conversion." At an ATM, declining the machine's conversion usually means continuing the withdrawal in local currency, not canceling it. Your bank may still charge a foreign transaction or ATM fee, so check your card terms before traveling. But choosing your home currency does not automatically remove those fees, and it may add a poor rate on top. Quick quiz. An ATM abroad asks whether you want to be charged in your home currency or the local currency. Which should you usually choose? Your home currency, the local currency, or whichever number looks smaller? The answer is the local currency. That usually lets your own card issuer handle the conversion instead of accepting the ATM or merchant's rate. The fifth trick is treating the ATM's visible fee as the total cost. An international withdrawal can involve the ATM operator's fee, your bank's out-of-network fee, a foreign transaction charge, and a conversion markup. A machine may show one fee while other costs appear later on your statement. Before traveling, check your debit card's foreign withdrawal terms, including fixed fees, percentage charges, and daily limits. At your destination, prefer an ATM attached to a recognized bank when practical. Independent machines in tourist zones may be convenient, but they can present aggressive conversion offers or higher operator fees. Avoid many small withdrawals if your bank charges a fixed fee every time. One carefully chosen withdrawal may cost less than 4 or 5 small ones, but do not withdraw more cash than you can secure. Saving a few dollars is not worth carrying your entire budget in one envelope. Balance cost with physical safety. The sixth trick happens after you agree to the exchange. The clerk counts quickly, moves the receipt, asks a question, or begins serving the next customer before you verify the amount. In a crowded area, distraction can turn a counting error into an expensive loss. Count the cash yourself before leaving the counter. Confirm the denominations, because unfamiliar banknotes can look similar. Check that the amount matches the receipt and that the receipt shows the currency, rate, fees, and final payout. Also watch for obsolete, damaged, or difficult-to-use notes. A bill may be genuine but rejected by merchants because it is old, torn, heavily marked, or no longer commonly accepted. If something is wrong, address it immediately while you are still at the counter and in view of security cameras. Once you leave, proving what happened becomes much harder. The seventh trick adds a person to the transaction. A stranger may say the ATM is broken, offer to translate, point to another machine, or claim your card needs a special local procedure. The goal may be to observe your PIN, redirect you to a compromised machine, take your card, or confuse you during the withdrawal. You do not need to argue or accuse anyone. Cancel the transaction, take your card, and move to a secure location. Use a machine inside a bank branch, hotel, or controlled commercial area when available. Shield the keypad, keep your card in your own hand, and do not accept instructions from someone who approaches during the transaction. If the machine keeps your card, contact the bank through its official website, app, or branch. Do not rely on a phone number printed on a loose sticker near the ATM. A stranger beside the machine should never become part of your withdrawal. Working mobile data is a practical defense. It lets you check a reference rate, open your banking app, confirm transaction alerts, and locate an official bank ATM instead of making decisions while offline. I have linked trusted eSIM options in the description. They are affiliate links, so the channel may earn a commission at no extra cost to you. Use the provider that fits your destination and phone, and set it up before departure when possible. The eighth trick happens when foreign cash is returned to you. A shop, taxi, restaurant, or exchange desk may give the wrong denomination. Substitute a similar-looking note, claim you handed over a smaller bill or return change in another currency at a poor rate. Announce large notes clearly as you hand them over. For example, say, "This is 500, while keeping your attention on the bill until the cashier acknowledges it. Count your change before putting it away." Avoid mixing currencies in the same wallet compartment. When bills from two countries are together, it is easier to hand over the wrong note or accept the wrong change. Where prices are quoted in both local currency and US dollars, confirm the currency before agreeing. A price of 20 means nothing until you know 20 of what. Keep the transaction in one currency from start to finish whenever possible. Before the trip, check your cards for foreign transaction fees, ATM fees, withdrawal limits, and travel notification requirements. Save your bank's official support number and enable transaction alerts. Carry more than one payment method stored separately. A primary card, a backup card, and a modest amount of cash give you options if one method fails. On arrival, obtain only the cash you reasonably need. Compare the final payout, not the advertising sign. At a terminal or ATM, choose the local currency. Review the operator fee before confirming and decline an unfavorable conversion offer. Count cash before leaving the counter. Keep the receipt until the transaction appears correctly in your account. Review your banking app periodically rather than waiting until the end of the trip. And set a walk-away rule. If the rate is unclear, the fee is hidden, the clerk is rushing you, or the screen does not make sense, cancel and use another option. You do not need to prove it is a scam. You only need to decide that the transaction is not clear enough. Currency exchange tricks work because travelers focus on the visible fee and miss the final amount. Remember the key checks, compare the payout, understand which rate applies, limit airport exchanges, choose local currency on terminals and ATMs, watch for stacked fees, count your cash, and step away from anyone who inserts themselves into the transaction. The goal is not to become a foreign exchange expert. It is to slow down for 30 seconds before money changes hands. That small pause can protect far more of your travel budget than chasing tiny rate differences across an entire city. For the travel tools mentioned in this video, including eSIM options that help you stay connected and verify rates and banking alerts, check the description. Some links are affiliate links, which support SafeMiles at no extra cost to you. Subscribe to SafeMiles for calm, practical travel security systems that help you avoid expensive mistakes without traveling in fear.